Good morning, fans of the new network. We have a legendary drummer with us today from Lynyrd Skynyrd, founding member of Damn Yankees. We'll be discussing the Lynyrd Skynyrd 50th anniversary tour, especially their big stop on June 29th at the historic Crew Stadium in Columbus, Ohio for the Buckeye Motorcycles and Music Rally. It's going to be phenomenal. So it's kind of funny that we're going from motorcycle rally, but we're also going to cover his art exhibit, Bella Italia. Michael, it is a pleasure having you on today.
Hi, James. How are you?
Doing wonderful. We are so excited. And it's just so neat how your art is so diverse when you have, of course, Lynyrd Skynyrd rocking out for 50 years, and you have your art, which is just so darn beautiful.
Why, thank you, James. The music and the art have been a lifelong journey. I was painting when I was 4, began drumming when I was 9, and haven't stopped either since.
How great is it been able to pursue both those passions?
Yeah, it's been wonderful because they're both very important creative releases that I get to do with my life, and they're two halves of a whole. They enhance each other. They balance each other. I can't imagine life without without both. One without the other just wouldn't make any sense for me.
Awesome. Every time you perform, you're making rock and roll history. Leonard Skinner is currently doing their epic tour with ZZ Top celebrating 50 years. How does it feel to have been a part of that iconic rock band for about half of its existence?
Yeah, it's really amazing, James. I'm in my 26th year now, and I consider myself very, very fortunate to be a part of this band's legacy because it's just, it's part of the American fiber. It's so iconic. This band, all the music that the band has done throughout its history. It's an honor to get up there every night and play these songs.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I feel that they are on that Mount Rushmore of bands. I mean, it's what them, Beatles, the Stones. I'm trying to think of who else would be up on your guys' level. I mean, it is just so phenomenal how you have been able to entertain fans, or the group has been able to entertain fans for so long. Like you said, 26 years. I mean, that is, oh gosh, that's a lifespan. But then on top of that, tell us about the experience that you got from your previous band, Damn Yankees, and how that led to you becoming a member of Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Well, Damn Yankees was truly the springboard for my career. It was baptism by fire in a way because I was just a kid from Cleveland, Ohio, that was fortunate enough to find myself in a band that went on to become very successful. And I will tell you that Damn Yankees and Lynyrd Skynyrd did share the stage more than once. So I've known the Skynyrd guys a long, long time. Um, and one thing led to another, and in 1998, they asked me to join the band, and it's been a wonderful experience ever since.
That is phenomenal. I was going to say, shoot, hopefully, I believe you deserve your spot back home in Cleveland, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's very kind. That's very kind. I have to tell you that I have family in Cincinnati, and we were there last summer. And of course, if I'm in that town, I'm going to Skyline Chili at some point during the day. Well, that night at the show, I wore a Skyline Chili T-shirt on stage during Freebird.
So cool. Heck yeah. And I was going to say, like you said, you've been with the band 26 years and all. One of the neat things about one of the pop culture things that I've always wanted to ask a Lynyrd Skynyrd person about is, and now that you know, with you being so cultured into art, you probably don't follow it, but do you ever watch professional wrestling?
I am not a wrestling fan,
Was the band
but
aware that they inspired a tag team to be called the Freebirds?
likely someone in the band knows about that. I will ask later in the dressing room.
Oh yeah, they were one of the iconic tag teams, and every time they'd come to the ring, it would of course make us think of Lynyrd Skynyrd because you know that being their name.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I
Heck
love
yeah.
it. Never keep the name out there.
Definitely. And then with your drumming, were you influenced by Bob Burns and his music?
Well, sure. I was playing these Skinner songs when I was a teenager in bands with my school friends. So of course I grew up listening to the records with Bob and with Artemis File. They both played some brilliant stuff on those records. And I did have the opportunity to meet Bob, rest in peace, when the band was nominated, inducted into the Rock Hall, and I've met Artemis many, many times over the years. And in fact, Artemis came to see Damn Yankees once. I remember that. That was fun.
Oh, cool. That is awesome. So switching over to your other art, from your music art to your visual art, tell us about your exhibit, Bella Italia, and how great it is to work with Philip DeAngelo.
Well, thank you for bringing this up, James. So I am doing a show May 25 in Asheville, North Carolina, with Philip DeAngelo at his gallery. He's a very, very talented painter. And he and I discovered that we both had Sicilian ancestry, and we came up with this idea to do a joint show of our work and celebrate that history. So a lot of the paintings in the show will be Italian themed, and the paintings will live side by side on the wall. And we have different styles in painting, but I think that will make it even more interesting because we are sharing some of the same themes, but we're doing it from a different vantage point. So it's really going to be a great show. I'm very excited about it, and there will be some other artwork, including some of my music themed pieces at that show as well.
Oh, nice. That sounds phenomenal. I was going to say my only complaint is that that show's not touring, so we can see it here in Cincinnati, or like shoot at least in your hometown of Columbus, or I mean Cleveland, that we could at least drive to it because yeah, going to Carolina seems a bit much. But yeah, bringing that to Ohio, we would love to see that.
Well, never say never. And I will tell you, if any of your listeners would like to see the work, I have a website, michaelcartellone.com, where they can see all of my things.
Ooh, I'll have to check that out. That sounds awesome. And then, of course, before we let you go, we got to talk about it again. June 29th, historic Crew Stadium, Buckeye Motorcycle and Music Rally. And it's not, yeah, I was going to say, you can't ever say not just, because obviously you guys are enough to be the reason to go see it, seeing Lynyrd Skynyrd. But there are other amazing reasons to go to it. Who are some of those other amazing reasons?
I believe ZZ Top is with us that day, correct?
Yes, yeah, I believe ZZ Top
Yeah.
and Hank Williams.
Oh, really? Oh, you know more than I do.
Yeah, I think he's the next day, I believe. But yeah, it is. Yeah, like you're the 27th and he's the 28th, or no, you're the 29th and he's the 28th. It's going to be phenomenal. Either way, it's a weekend full of just so much talent, so much fun. And I mean, gosh, motorcycles, you can't go wrong. Great music, you can't go wrong. Michael, it has been a pleasure having you on the show. We are so excited here in Cincinnati. It's been a year since we saw you. I think it was about last June or so when you guys were in town with the ZZ Top, and our fans are looking forward to it. thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, James. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that was awesome. Cartellone, Michael Cartellone, we are so excited we had him as a guest on the show. I was going to say, anytime you get to speak to somebody from the iconic band Lynyrd Skynyrd, I mean, they are an all-time great. They're so amazing, and they're celebrating 50 years. They're doing it with ZZ Top, and then, like I said, June 29th, historic Crew Stadium, Buckeye Motorcycle and Music Rally. I mean, it is just so awesome. And then Michael, on top of that, does the most amazing art. I keep saying amazing too much. It sounds like I'm saying it too much. I still feel like I'm not saying it enough because of the quality of his paintings are just miraculous. So check out that Bella Italia, his website, and check out that art. It's been a pleasure having you with us today on the new network.